Hi guys, I'm Kasia. Welcome to the channel and welcome as always to our coffee times to talk about movies. And today I don't have particularly a horror movie, but a movie that has been quite controversial, and it is an interesting thriller. So I thought I would sit down and talk to you about it, and that is Don't Worry, Darling.
It's coffee time.
So this is a psychological thriller. It is not a horror movie, but I thought I would still sit down and talk to you guys about it because I feel like even though it was not perfect, it did have some really good elements. And while I wait for other horror movies to be released here, like Pearl, that I still don't think it has any release date here in the Netherlands, and also The Invitation, which they have shown trailers at the cinema, so I'm hoping that they're gonna bring it soon as well. Luckily, Netflix and Prime are also gonna release some horror stuff that I will be reviewing, but for now, we have Don't Worry, Darling. So Don't Worry, Darling is an American psychological thriller directed by Olivia Wilde. She also plays one of the characters, and also in the cast are, for Florence Pugh, Chris Pine, and Harry Styles. So there is quite an interesting cast for this film, and we all know there's been a lot of controversy, surrounding this film, but I went to the movie just to see it, leaving behind anything I had heard about any member of the cast, and I just wanted to go there for the experience. To be honest, when I first saw the trailer, I was intrigued because it looks something similar to The Stepford Wives, a movie that I really enjoyed, and I wanted to see, what the movie was really about, because I was aware that the trailer was trying to paint a picture and let us know that there was some sort of twist, but I didn't know what it was. We are in the 1950s. Alice and Jack live in the idealized community of Victory, an experimental company town that houses the men who work on a top secret project. While the husbands toil away, the wives get to enjoy the beauty, luxury, and debauchery of their seemingly perfect paradise. So we have this picture perfect neighborhood where all the houses are the same, all the wives kiss their husbands goodbye in the morning as they go into their cars and go to work. Nobody knows what they're actually working on, like the females don't know it. So the wives stay at home and they clean, they go to ballet class, they drink by the pool, and they have this picture perfect life. So that is going all well until Alice starts to ask questions that she shouldn't be asking and starts considering if there is something wrong in this place, if this picture perfect life might not be so perfect after all. When it comes to the characters, I really have to praise, first of all, though, the costume design, the set design, the color palettes that were used when we are in these 1950s neighborhood. It was absolutely stunning and fantastic. I loved every little bit of it. It truly represents that picture perfect life, white picket fence, house, wife, children, men going to work, being successful, wearing suits, like all of that, the wives cooking all of these beautiful meals and, chilling by the pool. It was just so fun to see. When it comes to the actors, I do have to say that unfortunately Harry Styles was paired with one of the strongest, most powerful female actresses at the moment, Florence Pugh, and you can really tell the difference when they are in a scene together. And Florence Pugh is just, this force of nature, and every scene with her, which she carried the majority of the film on her shoulders. So thanks to Florence Pugh, this movie was a movie that I was able to really enjoy, because she's just fantastic. So Harry Styles, it's not like he did a horrible job or anything like that, but you can tell that he is still an inexperienced actor. He's not at the level of some of the other cast members. Also, yes, his accent gets a little bit confusing at times, but it's not something that it's gonna stop you from enjoying the film. Apart from Florence Pugh being amazing, I also really loved Chris Pine's performance as Frank, the leader, the guy that organized this neighborhood where everybody's living this peaceful life and everybody adores Frank, and he plays kind of this almost cult leader-ish kind of character, and I think that he did a really good job. And there is particularly the scene between him and Florence Pugh that involves a dinner scene that I absolutely loved. That was fantastic because these two guys acting together in that scene, it was just so powerful. It was one of my favorite parts about the film. There is a lot of work that was put into the world building in order to make sure that we were going to experience what it really meant for the characters to be living in these houses, to be living in this Victory project. And there is, like I said, so much work done when it comes to set design, when it comes to dresses and hairstyles and the whole neighborhood and what is beyond it. I felt like they did such an amazing job and everything looks perfect. And I also really enjoyed some of the filmmaking choices that they did. There is a scene that involves mirrors that kind of reminded me a little bit of Last Night in Soho. Like, there's many things that they did that, you know, from a technical perspective, from a filmmaking point, I really enjoyed. And it is a world where there's supposed to be absolute freedom, but they're also following rules. And my biggest problem with this film is this. The movie has, you know, it's distracting you a little bit with all of these from the main plot, which I guess it was intended, but at the same time the film is full of inconsistencies, and I think that's one of the things that really bother me a little bit. Now let's talk about, in this case, not the horror elements but more like the thriller elements of the film. And another issue that I had with this movie is that at some point you kind of are already fed some information that lets you know a little bit what's going on, and that is kind of like halfway through the film, so you still have so much to go and you're kind of already spoiled a little bit, so the impact of the twist doesn't have that much power as it could have had. Even though I did not expect that particular twist happening, it's not like I saw it coming, but for some reason it didn't have that punch, you know, it didn't have that powerful moment of the reveal as I would have hoped. I feel like they had a narrative, they have a theme. This movie, it has a feminist you know, message to bring across, but I just feel like the way that they did it, it didn't have the same impact that it could have had. So I felt like the third act got a little bit ambiguous. The third act lost, like deflated a little bit, and the movie was so strong for me. Like the first and second act, I was in love with the movie, and then the third act happened and then I kind of lost some of that love for the movie that I had been collecting thus far. So that is why I gave this movie only a 3 out of 5. And to be honest, if the ending would have been done differently, or the thriller element would not have been relieved a little bit early on, I probably would have given this movie a much higher rating, because I was really loving everything about it up until the third act. And to be honest, this is not a movie that it is extremely fresh and new, and you know, it's not bringing something new to the table, but it is a really well done movie. Apart from the, you know, the inconsistencies, I still think that people should put aside whatever they've heard about the cast and just give this movie a chance. So here it is, guys, my spoiler-free review of Don't Worry Darling, and let me know down below what you thought about the movie. If you've seen it, are you gonna watch it, or maybe you've decided that you're just gonna pass on this one. Let's talk about it in the comments down below. Thank you guys as always so much for watching, and I hope to see you all in our next coffee time. Bye.